Okay, so today we're going to be talking about air filter pods on carburetors for a motorcycle. Okay, if you notice, bottom of your carb, you have your air jets. Okay, well, the way these here typically work, is they sit down like such, and filters attached to it, as a normal basis. But the major problem with that is that the air jet is blocked halfway or more, just because of the booty, the rubber booty holding the filter on. So what you got to do is you got to mark it. That way you can cut out your little section on that of where the air jets are. Okay, that way you end up with something kind of like this. Okay, and then from that state, your air filter pod that fits over that, you also need to put a little cut and bend the air filter pod's edge right there. From there to there, you gotta bend it down. That way nothing is obstructing the airflow going into and past and around the freaking air jets. People be fighting with these things, freaking trying to resync their carbs. You should never have to resync your carburetors unless you've done something drastic, or unless it's been like 40 or 50,000 miles, because they come out of sync from vibration. They come out of sync very slowly from vibration. Like, I mean, just because you do these doesn't mean you need to resync your carburetors together. Typically, you would need to run a bigger size jet because you're running more air. But as far as synchronization goes, you shouldn't have to do such. I am, however, because I took mine actually off the bike and took them totally apart. So now I gotta sync them up where they're all in line with each other, first and foremost. But unless you break them off the rack, there should be no reason to have to resync them, but every 60 or 70,000 miles. And this is on my 1997 Suzuki RF 900 that I'm doing this on. Land speed record holding bike that is getting these air filter pods. And I'm actually going to rejet it myself with, found the smallest drill bits in the world the other day. 0.05 millimeter drill bit end up, all the way to 1 millimeter. And I'm gonna hone out the fuel jets myself. That way I can dial it into where I want. But yeah, at the end you should look like something. That was a flashlight. You should look something a little like that. See how the ridge is gonna obstruct airflow all the way around, but when you get to right there, nothing's gonna obstruct that airflow going through the jets. And that's for your idle airflow, your air to fuel mixture, which is highly important. But yeah, you don't want anything obstructing that. If you do, I mean, it's not a problem. You're just gonna be friggin' fighting your own carburetors for absolutely no reason. And then, so, this right here is going to go on such. Okay. That way, see them jets, not obstructed, it can be seen the whole way. And then the air filter pod with your dugout unbent little lip right there will go right there. Okay. Personally, I'm doing these one at a time and marking them 1, 2, 3, and 4. And after I put them back together, after I'm putting them back together and getting them like this, come on, fool. So now once I have them like that, and they're all set, that way, you see there ain't no lip in front of one whole piece. Okay. I'm taking a kitchen and bath. These don't get too hot, so I mean it's gonna be fine with temperature. It's good up to 150 degrees anyway. I don't imagine your air filter to get that hot. You know what I mean? But it's silicone adhesive caulk, because I took out probably close to a quarter of the lip that holds the filter pod on. So I want to be able to, make it sturdy again. So I just do a little bead all the way around. And I want to go all the way around to make it uniform and the same, because, I got OCD like that. But you don't need to. You could just go about a 1/4 inch overlap of the cutout that you made on your rubber, and only go that far. But I got OCD and I need it to be the same all the way around. And when you're done, it looks a little something like that. Okay. And then the inside lip, nice and smooth transition. That way, yeah, air jets are getting the proper supply that they need. And then always label which one this is, because if you're doing it one at a time, maybe they won't be perfectly the same on the next one, or it might be a little hair off or something like that, because I don't know, you're an idiot and don't know how to use a fucking razor blade or something. I don't know. But very, very, very important for these air filter pods to do this, because otherwise you are not supplying the correct amount of air at any RPM. It doesn't matter highs, mids, or lows. Your air to fuel mixture jet is blocked. Not totally, but your air to fuel mixture jet is restricted. Very much so, and you're just gonna fight it, and then it's gonna run like shit. And your bike running like shit is no good for your engine, and then you blow up at 150. A good way to know if you need to do this, or maybe rejet your bike after you do something like this, is you got lag in highs, mids, or lows on your RPM, and you're lagging at some point. Turn your choke on. If you have a manual choke the bike out while you're driving. and like this one here, my RF 900, it lags right around 5,000 RPM, and it red lines at 11, and it starts lagging right around 5 and stays lagging all the way up to 11 without the choke being on. So that tells you that you're getting plenty of air, but you need more fuel. Or what I have seen some people do is, instead of doing the jets, they will make a baffle for your air filter pod. Just use a standard washer with a shaft going through from one side to the other, and that way you can adjust your airflow, dial it in, get it right, and it's just a little adjustment. And nonetheless, it's just a friggin' washer, you know, blocking some of the air flow. Me, I'm not doing that. I do a lot of traveling for work and whatnot. I don't care about my quarter mile time, but I like to see right around 210 miles an hour, because when I'm doing 300 miles in a day, I like to do that 300 miles in 2 hours. So yeah, that's my goal with pretty much anything I make. Like this one here, I got an 18-tooth front sprocket and a 38-tooth rear sprocket. Stock, it came with a 14-tooth front sprocket and a 43-tooth rear sprocket. So nevertheless, I mean, the quarter mile time ain't so super impressive, but this 1997 Suzuki RF 900 4-barrel carburetor can get up to 202 miles an hour before the front end started bouncing, and I had to rebalance my front tire. And next test is later on today. But that's a 1997, just from what I've done, to the carbs, cold air intake, these sprockets, good bike. But yes, if you have air filter pods, don't forget to do this. It's very important, or your bike's just going to run like shit. All right. Good luck. Bye, Felicia.